and brews.
We're adults.
We're dudes.
Listen to tones.
Listen to tunes.
Drinking some brews.
Drinking some brews.
We're adults.
We're dudes.
Listen to tones.
Listening to tunes.
And drinking some brews.
And drinking some brews.
All right, it's 8 o'clock on a Sunday night. Here we are, looking fancy as hell.
Special edition of Dudes, Tunes, and Brews.
Special edition.
It's the first video cast of Harlos
and Josh. This is the first time we've been solo since the very first pilot, the old Genesis record.
The original Genesis record. Oh man, the feeling we had when we completed our first show.
It was great. We felt like nothing was going to stop us now.
And as we hopped off that Jefferson airplane and back into reality, by gum, we realized we deleted it.
We didn't delete it. My old turd laptop crashed. That's something to say about Chinese electronics.
Oh yeah, what do you have? You have a problem with it? You seem to have plenty of them in this house. This studio.
Talking about my importing of Chinese merchandising.
Where'd you get that computer? Walmart?
The pawn shop, thank you. A good American pawn shop.
You went to Larry's place?
No, dude. Cash America.
Oh, Cash America, yeah. The corporate America.
American pawn shop. Shelby Rhea, thank you for joining us this evening on Dudes, Tunes, and Brews. We can always count on you.
That's true.
Yeah.
She's a very good person. She's the... what would you say she is to the Dudes, Tunes, and Brews? The honorary dude.
She's an honorary dude, the first female dude in space.
And she does a heck of a tattoo.
I've been keeping up on her work recently on the Facebooks. And
pretty awesome, yeah.
She's no schlump.
Yeah,
she does some good stuff.
I don't think anyone that's ever been on this show has had any lack of talent whatsoever. Everybody seems to be exceptional in their craft.
Yes, yeah. Everyone has something oozing out of somewhere.
Yeah, and we've had some visual artists that we've had, like Spooky Brucey.
Brucey, he is crazy talented.
Who was on our last week's episode.
Yeah, he was on the Halloween episode, which I guess you could consider this possibly like a spillover Halloween Part 2 election special.
Would this be the Halloween 2 that got deleted? Like the original Halloween 2?
Well, the difference here is no one is going to get stabbed. Unless you talk more about how my mustache is fake.
Well,
Mr. Froman.
I just talk about the facts and the issues.
Facts and the issues. You don't know nothing about the facts and the issues facing our nation and our American families.
Yeah, well, what do you know about it? Collected from your problems with your back?
Hey, I've focused the last 4 months of my life to our community. I've been campaigning all down the I-65 corridor. You might have heard of it.
Are we the Babyface Highway?
Yeah, you damn right.
Why don't he should clean up the trash? Why is he having you do it?
Because he's providing us with a great service with his velvety, soulful voice.
When's the last time Babyface was even on that highway? For real, like, when is the last... That's the real issue that I'm going to fight for. I'm going to make sure people see Babyface on that highway at least once a year.
Oh, Shelby Rhea says that her and Patrick are sitting in the movies right now watching the new Halloween.
Well, how come?
But the film stopped, and they're waiting for him to fix it. Probably a Chinese projector.
Ooh. Yeah, well, it's just, even Chinese parts that are being built in our factories.
I'm going to bring projector manufacturing back to this great nation.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go back to the projection screen capital of the world, Warsaw, Indiana.
Is that true?
I believe so, yeah. And they're also known for Cocoa Puffs.
I'll get Jack to fact check that Snopes later.
They're big on the projector screens. And so I'm going to make sure they're great. as well. So
Right. Make DTB great again, I say.
DTB great. Well, can we agree on that?
We can. That's one of the only things our platforms crossover. It's a crossover platform. Another thing that our platforms crossover on is understanding that our guest for the evening, unfortunately, has conceded from this election.
They had to drop out. They were the independent of the campaign.
Yep.
And it's okay. We understand. You know, if things get tough, the tough get going.
Yeah, getting the hell out of here.
Yeah, tough on out. And
I'll tell you one thing. We're still standing.
Better
Strong.
than we ever
That's
did.
Right.
DTB. Vote DTB.
I guess that's why they call them the dudes. Anyways, so we're doing this solo tonight. We're just going to play by the seat of our pants because everything that we had prepared was in reference to our guest for the evening. I guess I could ask you some of the questions.
Oh, you can put me on trial? Could I get a little ready for this in my all-American cap?
I guess you could, but there's none of these questions that I had prepared for them is really going to cross over to you.
Oh, just don't worry about it. You can still ask me the questions.
Okay. Let's see. So I hear you have a Books and Brews connection.
Yeah, I actually did an episode with Melissa Sandulo here.
Yeah, I was there.
You were there.
I was there.
Oh, wow, you were there. And we had our first taste of bourbon on the show.
Oh, Lord. I walked into a tree that night.
You sure did.
I almost broke my my pink glasses.
One of your 17 Chinese-made pairs of glasses. Oh, that's all done. It's we don't know they're from Mexico.
You and your Indian sweatshop hats.
This was $8 of hard-earned American money.
Yeah, sent to India.
New Palestine is a part of this great country.
I'll tell you one thing right now. Mr. Gorbachev, crack those brews.
Am I right? Am I right?
What have we got here this evening, folks? This was picked up this evening by one of our constituents. It's called Horny Blonde.
Horny Goat Beer?
Horny Goat Brewing Company.
Wow.
Horny Blonde, brewed in Michigan.
What part of Michigan, I wonder? It's a big state.
They just wrote the word brewed really big across the front face of the word Michigan. Books and Brews on the south side is the greatest. Brandy Lacefield, I've been there with you, and I got pretty drunk that night. It's a pretty cool place. I liked it. Have you been there yet?
I have yet to go to any of them. I've always been. They have a lot of midnight screenings of movies and stuff.
Not the new one. They just opened.
No, I'm just in general. Books and Brews.
Gotcha.
There was one on the north side that kept advertising on the social media, and I wanted to go, but just timing and the campaign. It's hard to get to any screenings.
I'm campaigning myself. It's hard to find time. You got to lend your support and take support where you can get it.
And that's the way you live in this world. So what do we got here? We got the Horny Blonde,
12 fluid ounces beer. It's a bright blonde lager. I should have pulled out cups for this so we could look a little fancier, but we're going to drink these like the ordinary American people.
Well, let's crack those brews.
You got a good fly off on that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Say, that's a silky beverage.
That is nice.
It's very silky. It should be called Honey Blonde.
It's definitely got a honey flavor. It totally reminds me of your dream date, Nancy Pelosi.
She's a handsome woman.
I could see you drinking these with Hillary Clinton.
I could drink this beer with anybody because it's a damn fine beer, and if you're sitting down with me and you're having an awesome conversation.
This is a damn fine beer. It's let's see what. Let's go to the can. Let's see what the can says.
These are easy to slam. As well.
Yeah, they're very easy. They're 5%. This beer is brewed to be clean and crisp, with the hops slightly edging out the malt on the taste. I could see that slightly, but I still definitely get the sweetness and the honey.
Oh, absolutely.
A generous addition of German hops will leave the finish quite dry. I could say it's slightly dry. It's a little more wet. It's a moist finish, which is accentuated by the softness of the palate given by the white wheat. The text on this is it's blurry, or I'm already drunk.
Oh, you got it that quick. It does go down smooth. It's because of the beer can effect, also known as condensation. Let's just do a little wipage there. What you got? Where you at? How far?
Okay, it's not blurry. The letters are just ran together.
Where it says festival. See how smooshed together the writing
it's
is
all
on that?
smooshed together. Anyways, so
It's International Beer Festival in 2012.
we're gonna drink these. We got a good amount of them because we had 2 guests for the night lined up and they bailed, which I can't really blame them. We might try to work up another time to have them on, but judging by our upcoming schedule, which is full, sans a couple dates, we might not be able to get them back this year.
No, we're definitely filled to the brim.
We have 2 dates left open, and those are most likely going to be special events.
Who do we got next week?
Next week is Brent Lacefield and Brandon. Have you talked to them lately?
I've talked to Van,
Okay.
another one of their members, and he says they're very excited.
Okay.
He seems to be their lobbyist.
Their go-between, their intermediary.
He's a good guy.
Right on.
And he said they're good, and they're from the Timid Lions.
Timid Lions.
Which they actually have a really awesome track that was given to me recently that needs to be sent your way as well.
It has been sent my way. I've not listened to it yet.
It's very good. It's good stuff. So it's we can get that up and ready for the next event page for next week. So look forward to that.
Yeah, so as we were saying, this could technically be Halloween Part 2 because we did our Halloween episode last week because we had to shuffle some things and get these guys for tonight on this week. So we were going to do the Halloween episode tonight, but it worked out better to do it a week early for Bruce to talk about his art show.
Yeah, that turned out perfect. Yeah, and he got 2 of them squeaked in there for us. So
we discussed that. It was really good. Then after Brent Lacefield and company next week, it'll be a gentleman by the name of Dylan McKee.
Oh, yeah.
You know him.
Yeah, we love Dylan
I like
McKee.
to call him Dylan F-Bomb McKee because every other word out of his mouth, I'm telling you. He's a good guy, though. He's family.
Yeah, we love the F-Bomb family members.
Right.
Especially when it comes to some tunes, some brews, and some talking about Halloween 2s.
Yeah.
And there's been 3 Halloween 2s.
Has there really?
Yeah, because there's the original one with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Okay.
And then the Rob Zombie reboot.
Okay.
He did 2 of them. So the second of his was Halloween 2. And then this one is technically the going back and counting all of them out. And it's Halloween, and then this one is called Halloween. So it's Halloween.
Huh.
So that's the rip on it.
It's called Halloween?
No, it's just called Halloween,
Okay.
but in succession it'll be Halloween. It's the Mario thing happening.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. My name's Luigi Mario.
That's the dumbest. That was started as like a joke.
Yeah.
In the movie, when they got arrested, the writer's like, oh, well, they need a last name to get booked. And some guy's like, how about Mario? Because they're the Mario Brothers. It's like, Mario. That's funny. Let's do it.
That's like one of those movies that they just kept like throwing stuff at random.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that.
Speaking of movies, there's a question right now on the palette of America that's absolutely pressing. Before the campaigns move any further and people make their final decisions next week, we have to know something. Mr. Froman, what's your favorite John Candy movie?
Oh, my favorite John Candy movie would probably have to be Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
I can concur.
I'd have to say that's the John Candy that I love.
That's the John that movie made me want to hug John Candy more than any man in my life.
Absolutely. He's just so wholesome in that. And he's the way he's able to carry on with that tough life of selling
shower curtain
rings. And when they sell him his earrings, it kills me every time. And I'm a John Hughes fan anyway, so it worked out well. He's the one who did Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah, he did a lot of movies.
Breakfast Club. Yeah, and he did some that I'm like still shocked by. I think he did like the Beethoven movies. Which I like the first one. I never saw any of the second. It was just like Beethoven's Eighth, and they all had, like the last 3 have had Judge Reinhold.
Yeah. Whatever happened to Judge Reinhold? I think
the Beethoven movies.
Right. Okay. I mean, he got arrested for drunk driving a couple years ago. Drunk.
Dude. Well, man, that's gotta be really. That's gotta be really interesting when you go to court when your name's Judge.
True.
But do they just call you by your last name?
Yeah.
So Mr. Reinhold
or defendant.
Yeah. So. Either
plaintiff. defendant.
What was it that Judge Reinhold played a judge in something random? It was some random show.
I don't know. I know I liked Vice Versa.
Vice Versa was awesome.
Him and Fred Savage.
Yeah, that was really cool. That was one of my favorite movies growing up.
Yeah, we had that one on old VHS tape.
Yeah, wasn't it like a skull?
Yes.
That turned him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that. Did you ever see Freaky Friday with, who was it originally? I don't know the original one, but there was the one with Jamie Lee Curtis and,
Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan, yeah. They always update that whole thing with that whole...
I mean, all them old movies have to be remade eventually.
Well, just the idea of swapping personalities with another person. That's a hard one not to use.
Like there was that one where I feel like it was one of the Wayans turned into a woman.
No. This Rob Schneider. Was it the hot chick?
No, it was like late '80s, early '90s.
Oh boy, that sounds great.
I'll have to look into that 'cause I feel like it was like Damon Wayans. He turned into like a white woman.
Oh well, in White Chicks they dressed up as white chicks.
Yeah, but that's not the one I'm talking about. It
Yeah.
was like an old one.
Well, if anybody at home knows that movie, let us know. Who knows about this movie where the dude turns into a chick? That's not.
Okay, Brandy Lacefield. Apparently, your child has your phone and is typing into the chat.
All right. Well, glad that we are influencing the kids because the kids are the future.
Kids are the future. That's what my campaign's all about.
They're the light. I'm talking about the future. And you know what else I'm talking about? I'm talking about America. Which is, what, tonight's album choice? Or what do we end up going with?
It's got something to do with America. I mean, we have musical guests lined up, but like we said, they bailed. So we're just going to go back to our old, quietly playing something in the background.
I love it, man. You got this stack of records over here.
So, let me go see what we got over here.
Are you tired of waiting on music? Tired of commercials and watermarks on images? I hate them too. I hate watermarks more than anything, and I hate waiting for anything. And I'll make sure that you don't wait for nothing. Especially not for another delicious episode of Dudes, Tunes, and Brews, which we know you're looking for every single week at 8 p.m. Sunday nights. And we'll keep serving them to you. Because that's what we stand for, America. Is more product and less lines.
We're instant gratification type of country.
What have we got, Mr. Harlos?
This is some Supertramp.
Oh, I think we're going to be doing just fine tonight. And one of our viewers at home, Mr. Patrick Froman, I know for a fact is a huge Supertramp fan. And,
yeah, Supertramp's weird. I like them. They got some, those weird backing vocals and stuff.
Harmonies are always fun, especially when they're done as well as they are with Supertramp.
Supertramp was cool too because everyone was like a multi-instrumentalist. The one guy played the saxophone, played some other stuff, and he was always just like an auxiliary type player. And there was always parts that were necessary.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, it's just like playing by himself. He'd probably be just like,
yeah.
But it's just like good backup singers in general, or any backup artists in general. It's like a lot of geniuses out there. They know how to just fill in those little gaps or add a little something, add a tree to the foreground like the Bob Ross,
Yeah.
How do you feel when you see him do that?
Just adding a tree?
Just anything to the foreground. It's like he has his painting, and it's like, yeah, and then all of a sudden he's like, fuck it, I'm going to add something. And he just slaps a tree on there, and you're like, whoa, that's insane,
My favorite thing, though, is when he gives that tree a buddy.
But tree's always got to have a buddy.
That's right.
He's always got to have a little friend. He just sneaks in.
Then he puts a little murder shanty down there.
It's our little secret.
What was that meme I saw a few weeks ago? It was like, what if all of Bob Ross's paintings are where he hid bodies?
Or the gold! The gold of Santiago!
The Bob Ross gold. I've heard about this. It's a legend. It's an urban legend.
I'm fine. Yeah, the Bob Ross gold legend goes back far before his PBS days. I think people started talking about that during...
Well, he lived in Alaska for a while, and he found a lot of gold up there.
Yeah, that's where a lot of gold's stored. Is a lot of Alaskan coal mines.
A lot of Alaskan, yeah. You got to fight through the polar bears to get it.
The polar bears is it's another political group.
It's definitely a political group. Oh man.
Would you fight a polar bear or a grizzly?
You wouldn't fight either. You'd die.
If you had let's say you had a shovel and a sewing needle.
A shovel is...
Do you think you could do it?
No. You understand a grizzly bear is like 650 pounds, right?
Yeah, but how much is a polar bear?
Well, the ice caps are melting and they're running out of food, so they're significantly smaller than they used to be.
Okay, they're shrinking.
So I'd rather fight the polar bear.
Yeah, that's cool.
And polar bears hardly ever see people, so they'd be like, "What the hell?"
Yeah,
You get the element of surprise.
What would you do with the shovel? I'd probably just dig me a hole to bury myself, and the needle would be to poke my eyes out so I didn't see myself being murdered.
There you go.
Being mauled to death.
Mauled.
Yeah.
Absolutely, positively mauled to death.
Yeah, that's got to be a heck of a way to go. So.
Yeah.
Would you fight a penguin with your bare hands?
You could probably... I don't know. Penguins are probably bigger than you think.
Dude, I've had a macaw on my shoulder, and that's like a third the size of a penguin, and I was like scared.
I've been chased by a goose.
Yeah, geese they're scary, dude. Birds are scary.
They don't even have teeth and they're scary.
Yeah, do none of them have teeth?
I don't think any birds have teeth, do they?
I don't know. I think this is something worth looking up. Because some fish have teeth.
Yeah, the sheep's head fish has like a full set of human teeth almost.
Oh, that's crazy. Just dentures that fell in the ocean.
I feel like that happened to Grandpa Simpson.
Yeah, that's how you get some cool smiles on some animals. You just shove dentures in their face.
I mean, you run to a box of dentures, what else are you going to do with them?
I wonder if like taxidermists get really creative with stuff like that. I would be like, I'm just going to turn this possum I found on the side of the road into a stuffed possum, and I'm going to shove dentures into its face and kind of give it like a new look. You know?
May as well, I mean.
Some googly eyes.
Googly eyes for sure.
Googly eyes and dentures.
Googly eyes make everything appear alive.
Yeah, it really does. I put some on my trash can.
I put googly eyes on my googly eyes.
Dude.
Boom.
Dude.
Vote for Harlos.
Vote for Josh.
You already slammed that first one?
I'm just getting these ready, but yes,
Okay.
I totally slammed that first one. I'm telling you, this is smooth. I'm giving this I'm giving it a 4.75.
I'd give it a 4.5.
It's a good beer. I think
I think it'd be better in a glass.
I think it'd be better in a glass, but the thing is this how it works well as a light beer as well.
That's true.
It's got the bubbles and the smoothness.
Sorry, we're getting down for a minute. We probably shouldn't do that, or else their algorithm's gonna catch that we're using this music.
Al Gore rhythm. You saying he's on the drums? In
Al
this one?
Gore's got rhythm.
He's got the blues.
Oh man.
Oh boy, what's with this world anymore? You know.
So,
I tell you.
are you dressing up for Halloween, like for real?
Yeah, I actually have a Jason NES costume that I put together, which is like the turquoise mask with like the purple
Gotcha.
garb.
Okay.
Yeah, that seems pretty cool. I think if I was to ever take it to like a cosplay event and I paint it up real well, it'd be pretty neat. I'm probably not gonna put the bald cap on for taking the kids out, but I might.
Okay.
You know. You got any? You know anything about purple makeup? Like some like violet, eggplant kind of color?
You could go round up some elderberries and just smash them all over your face.
I am allergic.
Then you'd really turn purple.
Yeah, that'd be good. I think that's
Go all natural on.
I will suffer for fashion, or whatever.
What are your kids wearing?
They got these. We got them costumes off of the clearance rack post Halloween last year.
Nice.
And
That's a long time to commit to a costume for a kid.
let's just say the situation was I and another had the situation, and the other decided upon the stamp of approval. I was like, a year in advance is a long time to know, as you said. And they were like, these are cheap. And then I couldn't argue with that. They were cheap. They were 75% off, so I agreed for the madness. But they're cool with it, except for now they're fighting over the wigs.
Gotcha.
So, sister rivalry. It's a very real thing. I should write a book about it.
Should.
Yeah, I really should, but I might.
Okay.
And Yeah, they did well. Ruby's got kind of like this like Little Red Riding Hood kind of thing going on, and then Hazel's got this like sorceress.
Okay.
So it's like green, very emerald green dress, and then she wears a black wig, and she has platinum blonde hair. So to see her with black hair is a fun experience.
I'm sure.
Especially the big lip green lipstick. But I got a chance to do the trial run with it the other day because they had a Halloween thing at their school.
Okay.
Elementary school. It's a fun time.
That's cool. I'm probably not dressing up myself because
No?
it'll be after work.
Frank, Michigan.
Dude, I'm not doing that again. That took way... It was too hard to color all this hair and the sideburns and eyebrows and mustache with that spray and crap.
It was damn worth it.
It was worth it. That's why you got them the one time, and you take what you get.
I got it.
And it was a pain in the ass washing it all out.
Yeah, I had face paint in my beard for 4 days and eyeliner on.
Nice.
And people thought I got in a fight. They never questioned the white trails in my beard. That was like really like thick.
Yeah.
That stuff was so hard. I have makeup wipes for my kids.
Mm-hmm.
And no, it still didn't work.
Wow.
It's kind of an inevitability, you know.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't wear enough makeup to really have to deal with that.
Yeah.
This is all natural. I know I have that beautiful bronze glow.
I see.
Yeah, I've been working on that. A lot of egg yolk. I smear egg yolk on my face.
I don't believe this. I don't believe this for a minute, sir.
The eggshells can be a problem. I should just crack the eggs over my face. I don't know why. I just slam them into my face.
Speaking of cracking, crack those brews. Got nothing better to do.
Oh boy.
Yeah, 4.5 on this one. The horny goat, horny blonde.
She's
horny
pretty
goat
actually. She's got very nice eyelashes. It's
Oh, is it turning a little bit? Whatever. Frank, Michigan. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's not many people sent thoughts and prayers after his goiter developed.
No, I don't think. I think a good goiter is like a cyst, though, right? I mean, it's just kind of.
Honestly, I still don't know what a goiter is. I think it's just where you store your keys, right?
Yeah, of course. Or where you can. It's when somebody needs a shoulder to cry on, a good goiter to cry on is really what they seek.
I'd put a hat on it if I had a goiter.
Oh yeah, I think yeah, of course. But everybody needs a bosom for a pillow. Mine's on the goiter.
That's true. I wasn't going to mention anything about that.
It's okay. Buddy.
So, going back to the stuff of today.
Okay, yeah. Let's think about today.
You've seen this Joe Donnelly ad where he's chopping wood, right?
You damn right, Sleepy Joe.
Has anyone else seen this ad of Joe Donnelly chopping wood? It's hilarious.
Yeah, but
it's so bad. Like, everyone kept telling me about it, and I don't watch a lot of TV too much, you know, so I hadn't seen it. So I Googled it. I Googled it Saturday evening.
This is new to you, so you just saw it.
I've known about it for about a week.
That makes it that much better.
Just saw it yesterday. And the way I came onto it was I found a MSNBC broadcast that had been put on YouTube with this. So the ad is so bad, it's making national news. And some other dude is like making fun of it. And, I did my own parody of it this morning.
That wasn't a parody, everybody. That was a full-fledged attack on my character.
That was, because this guy is going to send all your jobs to Mexico.
Yeah, this guy here, he's sending them all to China.
Don't get me started on what he'll do for money under a bridge.
Don't get me started on what he'll do for deconstruction of a bridge.
Whoa. Those are low blows, sir.
What about the game Bridge? Have you ever played Bridge?
I have never played Bridge.
So let's not burn
because
bridges.
As far as I understand, it's a German game, and it's un-American.
There's nothing un-American about the Germans.
Everything about the Germans is un-American.
Tell that to Cincinnati.
Their chili sucks. I'll tell Cincinnati anything. Cincinnati, call me. I'll tell you whatever you don't want to hear. The things you need to hear that everyone's too scared to tell you.
And by the way, cinnamon doesn't go in chili. But you know what?
That's what I'm saying.
Have you ever had Indian food?
Hold on. Our platform came together again on something?
Yeah, of course, cinnamon and chili. And I'm talking about foreign affairs, which is Indian food. Have you ever had Indian food?
I have never had Indian food, but I really, really, really want to try chicken tikka masala.
Well, I don't know if I've ever had that because I've
It
only
looks-
just tried stuff. It's just like
It looks
lots
delicious.
of stews is what it is.
It's pretty much just like potato vegetable soups and
It's the best.
thick-
It's so
thick
good.
stuff.
Except for sometimes a lot of it has coconut milk
yeah.
and curry, and sometimes curry has like a cinnamon-ish kind of.
Oh, they use all the spices.
Yeah, they use the hell of spices, and it's awesome. I love it. It's the perfect combination of like stews and breads. They love flatbreads,
Yes.
and I'm
What's that? Nan?
Naan.
Nan.
NAAN.
NAAN.
Yeah.
CP.
CP. NAANCP. Wait, that was Amco. Remember Amco commercials?
AMMCO. That's
MCO.
it. That's it.
So when I saw Amico stations as a kid, I was so confused. I'm like, there's Amco and then there's Amico. Are they not the same? They obviously weren't.
Huh.
Yeah, because what was Amco? Was that like a collision experts or something like that? Like some auto part thing?
No, that's Mako.
Mako does that? I don't remember what
Mako was body work and stuff. Paint jobs.
Now, when you were younger, where did you grow up mostly? You were in southern Indiana, right? Or central Franklin.
Franklin.
So you know all the local stuff as well. So it's not like you did most of your growing up in Kentucky.
No, I moved to Franklin when I was 1.
Okay, so yeah, you're a Hoosier native.
I'm definitely a Hoosier. Yeah, I was written down in Kentucky, but I've lived here since I was 1.
So what's your favorite local commercial growing up, or what? Like the local commercial
shit.
earworm that gets you the most?
Man, you had to catch me off guard. If we would have had time to just discuss
To
it,
research it, or like the brainwaves.
I would have thought
bad
about
dreaming.
it a lot. But I mean, one of the things that stick in my head from the '90s was dialing 222-2222 for the weather.
That was my favorite. Yeah, I would do that sometimes if I needed to tie up the line.
Do you remember in the '90s? Anybody? Do you remember the Indianapolis Star? Used to have a section on the weekends for kids, and they would have phone numbers you could call, and you could hear a story.
Yes.
And then press 9 for this ending, press 7 for this ending.
It was like the original internet.
Right.
It was like everything with the phone, because and then they would have they did. I remember one year I called. It was like a Halloween thing. Yeah. And they had 12 different varieties of things you could do, kind of like a choose your own ending.
Yeah, it was great.
That was cool. It's as interactive as you could get with recorded voices and stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that was early 90s.
Yeah, and it was comparable to the old BBS systems with computers, because you would dial. But what a BBS system would do is basically it would be like an open forum. You would leave a message and it would stay there, and then somebody else would dial in and they would see your message and then be able to leave it, like the original Facebook kind of.
Huh.
But you both couldn't be dialed in at the same time, because back then it was one computer at a time could connect to another server or whatever other hub.
Magic.
Yeah, but I learned about BBS systems in the 97, 98 when people were writing the real internet, and I was writing the local internet.
When Al Gore was writing it?
When Al Gore was doing what he needed to do. His daughter is actually a writer for Futurama.
She hot?
Yeah.
Wait, Al Gore's daughter writes for Futurama.
Yeah, and that's why he's a staple on the show.
He's a head in a jar.
He's a head in a jar, and he's pretty funny.
Huh.
Actually, his character's pretty good on there.
Is it actually his voice?
Yeah, it's him.
Really?
Yeah, for real.
I bet he could pick a mean guitar.
He seems like a pretty reasonable dude.
Well, I could have a beer with him.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I'd have a beer with Al Gore.
Al Gore.
Yeah. I know what I mean. Let's do that. Let's figure out who we can drink. Let's go old school.
Old school what?
Back in the day, politicians, who would you have a beer with out of all of them?
Oh, man, Ulysses S. Grant.
Oh, wow. Yeah. All right.
He'd walk in, and I'd hand him one of our beers, and he'd be like, "What's this?"
Pussy shit.
Yeah. And he'd hand me a bottle of 1850 bourbon.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
He'd be like, "That got me kicked off my post."
He's like, "Your middle name is an S." He didn't have a middle name.
Is that true?
That's what I've always been. All right, there could be another urban legend or another national treasure.
I've always known it as Ulysses S. Grant, but I never knew what the S stood for. our feature writer here on the show has quit, so we have no one to like look up these things for us now.
Yeah. Our feature writer got a better job working at some sort of local cable company thing.
Yeah.
All he does is he writes memes all day.
Speaking of bullshit, my opponent here still has cables. Think about that in November.
Cable? You damn right I got cable. How else am I supposed to watch Frasier?
Wow. Speaking of that, my opponent still watches Frasier. Think about that when you go to the polls this November.
Well, watch either Frasier or MASH. I mean, are there any other shows to watch?
Frasier sucks. What?
I don't actually watch Frasier. Did you see what he was named?
The S in Grant didn't stand for anything.
Yes! I thought that's what I'd heard! This is good. But that wasn't even his name. Did you see what it was? His original name was Hiram. Hiram Ulysses. Is that like Roman?
Hiram?
No, Ulysses.
That was an old novel about the Greek life or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
S. Grant. Well, that's so cool, dude.
This says his phantom middle initial is the result of an error from Ohio Congressman Thomas Harner, who accidentally wrote the future general's name as Ulysses S. Grant when he nominated him to attend West Point. So it stuck.
So did he become? It just took as like a stage name.
I guess so until they started calling him the drunk of the wilderness.
Hell yeah, that's cool. You were the president of the United States, and now you're a hermit. Tell me that's not the American dream. That is the American dream.
That is the American dream.
You rose to the top, and then you're like,
leave me the hell alone.
Get me out. He's like the Kilgore child of presidents.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a Kurt Vonnegut character, a recurring character that's kind of like this like crazy old man. He's kind of like what we're talking about. He was very talented and successful, but he was like crazy and weird off the cusp. And
hold on. Charles Frohman has chimed in here. He's trying to debunk the information, saying it was Hiram Ulysses Grant, and it was Harry S. Truman that had no middle name. Well, we just found out that Ulysses S. Grant's middle name was an error. So let's see what Harry S. Truman's name means.
Yeah, let's find this out as well. This is new to me. The Truman Curse.
Charles Frohman, you're giving us some stuff here.
So I wonder if you like modeled that after him being a fan of
maybe
Ulysses.
I love drunk guys in the wilderness. I'm gonna use as middle name.
Was he before or after Teddy?
Teddy? Let's see here.
Well, Harry's obviously after.
Truman was after Roosevelt.
Yeah, so he'd already done his thing.
Harry S. Truman. Let's see here. This is gonna take forever to find this out.
No, it didn't. The people at home want to know this information.
Well, I figured there'd be like he was born this name.
Yeah, just kind of like it worked with our other name.
Harry S. Truman. Middle name. We'll Google that. His parents chose the name Harry after his mother's brother Harrison, while the S did not stand for any one
So this
name.
Happened twice?
It was chosen as his middle initial to honor both his grandfathers. Wow.
So Charles Frohman's right.
Charles Frohman, you are correct, sir.
So what he's saying is Ulysses had a middle name.
He did.
So he wasn't Sans middle name.
It was Ulysses.
Yeah, but as he's remembered is a fake or a surname, right? Is that what you call that? Is that surname?
The surname's your last name.
Oh, I'm wrong, man. But his thing is
I think your name is your name.
It's basically his stage name. Is what
it's his stage name. So Harry S. Truman was just given a
He was just given a middle initial. It was just they just snuck it in.
That's crazy.
That's cool. Well, that's just
fun.
Make
sure this November when you go to the polls not to vote for my opponent Josh S. Frohman.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Instead vote for Harlos S. Santana.
That is good.
That is nice.
I like that.
That is nice.
Actually,
that is nice.
I'm usually a big fan of the J. I like the J middle name because of it's kind of a future.
Simpsons did it.
Simpsons did it. Same with Futurama, and I get accidentally the current president of the United States has a J middle name.
Donald J. Trump.
He's a Futurama character as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, think about it.
That is a lot to think about. It's a lot to take in.
Yeah, the old JJ.
So what are you going to do, the first day after you lose the election?
Well, the first day I'm gonna after the election, after they give me my bowl of spaghetti, which is ritualistic for the winter, I'm gonna eat it wholeheartedly with my American-made, fully grown in America mustache.
Imported. Look at that cheap Chinese import mustache on his freaking ugly mug.
And I'm gonna eat that spaghetti, which was American invented.
Hold on. Charles Froman, who was a shoe salesman? You chime in right now and tell me what's up.
Who's a shoe salesman? You're a shoe salesman.
When did the conversation turn to Al Bundy?
Always.
Who's big?
Yeah. Hey, are we on the first side of the record?
We are. I'm going to flip it here in a second.
Oh, he's gonna flip it.
I'm going to flip it and reverse it. And listen to hidden satanic messages.
I'd like that. I like that a lot. Speaking of satanic messages, today I actually checked out a video that was suggested to me by the YouTube, which was the Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I saw that. The sludge thing?
Did you listen to it?
No.
It was awesome. But what was even better was listening to it at 1.5. Because it's slowed down to a point of like recognition, but it's kind of like chop and screw.
That's weird that it would be in both of our suggestions.
It's that good. It was that suggestive.
I watched a video today about
My dad actually sent me a video.
the first lathe.
What's a lathe?
You know what a lathe is?
No.
A lathe, they say, is the only tool that can make itself.
Wait, what?
Right. A lathe is pretty much, it's like a big motor, and it just spins shit with a blade, and it just like makes shit round and precise. Now they're like ran by computers and shit, so they're like super precise. They make ball bearings and axles and anything that you need round and
that's
precise.
so cool. Ball bearings are cool.
Metal lathes are really cool to watch because you got this metal, I mean, it's freaking steel, usually cast iron, steel, whatever, and you got this blade that's so sharp, it can, like, just go down into this steel as it's turning and just, like, spin it perfectly. You should just, like, look up some lathe videos.
Have you ever heard of ferrule fluid, I believe it's called?
Ferrule fluid?
Or ferrule fluid?
I've heard of brake fluid.
It's basically like this, it's magnetic. Like a magnetic oil that they use it for NASA. That it basically, the whole thing is for them to transfer fuel from one place to the next. They have to use this like magnetic fuel source that kind of.
Oh, since there's no gravity in space.
But the thing about it is, it's like the best kind of oil out there ever. Like there's something about it that's very lubricating and whatnot, but it's a really neat kind of thing to look into.
Well, when I'm voted for in November, I'm gonna make sure everyone in America gets that oil.
Yeah, you want that oil?
I want that oil.
It seems like one of those things that it seems like it never grips. Once something gets in motion, it keeps going, and going.
You talking about trends?
I'm not sure. I'm also talking about like if you could get something going and it never stopped. Couldn't you create some sort of like
Perpetual motion?
Yeah.
Engine, free energy.
Yeah. That's how that works, huh?
You could probably make an engine, a self-propelled engine out of magnets.
Oh, it's so weird though. It's like how do you capture energy and exert energy at the same rate?
Talk to Tesla, dude. He figured it out. Government stole it. When I'm elected, I'm gonna get all this Tesla paperwork out there.
Yeah, man, it's like energy. Energy that's like symbiotic.
Energy that's symbiotic.
Yeah, because it's like it exists off of consumption as well as like.
Symbiotic. That means it gives as much as it takes.
Yeah, that's so awesome. It's pretty cool to think about.
That is kind of cool to think about.
Because most things have to devour something to contain.
But that's what's that? Parasitic?
Yeah, and it's like almost everything in the universe seems parasitic. Even a flame to a log.
Humans are parasites to the earth.
Yeah, well, look, we have to eat salads and other animals. And...
I don't eat salads. I don't like you. I know freaking rabbit.
You know what I mean? You have to eat things that grow on
It takes a lot of meat and taters to keep a man of my stature alive.
And that's parasitic to the meat and the taters, which I love both of.
I'm having pot roast tomorrow, people, so...
Hey, you know who has a good pot roast? Golden Corral.
Golden Corral can suck it. They're like $20 a plate anymore.
You know, I took myself...
That doesn't include a drink.
No?
No, it's like $18 per person.
It's me and
then you got to buy a drink.
Me and my kids, it was like $29. Yeah, it was stupid. It was stupid. But, you know, I didn't have to do the dishes.
Huh. Charles Froman and Josh Froman. This is Charles Froman speaking here. No relation, he says.
Yeah, no relation. I don't know the dude.
I'm gonna call bullshit on that.
No, I don't. Hey, the Froman name extends across the
So just to clarify, Charles is your dad, right?
Yes.
Okay. Anyways. And that's how you get a liar to admit that he's wrong. So who's gonna win over me, right?
Yeah, I ain't talking about that right now.
Anyways, they once ate at a place in Missouri that Truman's wife ate at.
Yeah, we actually out there in Missouri, the whole like Truman Library's out there, and a whole.
Is that where he's from, Missouri?
Yeah, I guess he's out what was it? Blue Springs.
Blue Springs. Right? You ever been? You ever been to Missouri? I was about to ask. Jesus Christ! You ever been to the Arch in Missouri, the monument?
The St. Louis Arch?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went there last March.
The westward expansion.
It was closed down.
What?
Yeah, they were doing some sort of like updates.
Huh.
So they, and everything. So we got out there like late March of 2017.
I tell you, it's kind of crazy because you wouldn't think it from the outside, but the Arch is actually a building you go into.
Yeah.
And it's basically got an elevator that goes up this parabolic type shape. So it's like a free hanging basket inside the leg of the arch. And you're in there like a little pod, like a pod person, like in a spaceship.
Yeah.
And you get up in there, you got 2 people on one side, 2 people on another, and you actually just like ride up the freaking arch. And since it's curved, your basket inside this leg is just kind of swaying the whole time. And then you get up to the top, and the little door opens. And you step out, you crawl out, pretty basically, and there's just like this curved floor that's nicely carpeted. It's almost like a theater, like a movie theater.
Wow.
It's got carpet, and then it's got windows where you can like look out.
So it's kind of like the Eiffel Tower at Kings Island.
Kind of, but
way more impressive. How tall is it?
It's pretty tall, but speaking as a welder fabricator, by trade, looking at the arch. The composition of it was humorous to me because it's a government project, of course.
Right.
And
it's both, like it's beneficial to the people.
Right. All it is stainless steel sheets. I'd guess probably 5/16 thick, maybe half an inch.
Ugh.
They're thick as hell. With 2 C's, thick.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Anyways, and they're just welded together. And it's just, this whole outside is just like skin, like stainless steel plate welded together. And there's slag balls all over it. Like the guys who welded it said, good enough. And they didn't.
So it's like a kind of a eyesore up close.
If you look at it really close, you see the slag balls from when they welded it.
So is it kind of like impressionistic painting?
Not really. It's just
where like far away, it's a picture. You get up close, it's just like they threw what they could on the canvas.
From far away, it looks cool. Then you get up. If you have a trained eye, you notice the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Anybody else would be like, "What's all these little pimples all over this?" Well, that's
those
slag.
are barnacles, baby.
Yeah, well, no, it's slag.
It's 630 feet tall.
And when I'm elected in November, I'm setting up a special committee to allocate funds for the deburring of the St. Louis Monument.
Do you think that would possibly weaken the structure?
No, it's just...
It's like the extra glue that seeps out.
Right, you just scrape it off. You go in there with an air hammer with a sharp chisel, you can just knock them right off.
Maybe that's what they were doing last year.
And then you polish it up.
They seemed pretty polished last year.
I don't know.
But I don't have that eye.
That's a bitch, though, that you went and you couldn't experience it.
No, but it was still pretty impressive from below.
You see, when I went to Washington, D.C., like I do all the time now, this was like 10 years ago, I really wanted to see the reflecting pond and the Washington obelisk,
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
The reflecting pond was tore up.
What?
They'd gotten rid of it because they were rebuilding it.
Oh.
So we got there. It's like...
What year was this?
Long time ago.
I was there in 2008, maybe?
I can't remember.
It looked just like it did in Forrest Gump when I was there.
I can't remember, but you have the Lincoln Monument, and then you have the Washington Monument kind of bookending the reflecting pond.
Yeah.
And it was just like construction, like mud and crap. The pond was gone.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I stood at the Lincoln Monument, which is way bigger in person than it looks in the movies.
Oh, I actually walked up to it.
It's crazy big.
And I cut his head open and got the gold out.
Yeah.
What was that? Is that a Ren and Stimpy joke?
Possibly. It seems like it, yeah.
Yeah.
In Hot Shots Part 2, he has a cookie jar that opens up and there's it's Lincoln's head, and there's cookies in it.
There's some kind of joke that he has gold in his head. I don't know what is that where the Nazi gold is?
Who knows, dude?
Can I say that these days?
I don't
Nazi
know.
gold?
I don't know if it's considered Nazi gold anymore. At this point, it's the Publix gold. It's in the public domain now.
It's still ill-gotten. It's like pirate booty.
Oh man, but who's gonna claim it otherwise? I wonder if the melt value is worth a damn.
On gold?
On just like pirate gold or like Nazi gold.
If you melt it down and you can like make up a good enough lie, no one's gonna know.
Well, it's like pennies. Booty. Pennies are like.
Pennies are garbage.
But they're worth 2 cents a piece in terms of copper melt.
And it takes $1.57 to make each one.
Right. So it's like there are people who hoard pennies, and they hoard like the ones that are like post 64 or something.
The most
like that.
fantastic livers.
I mean pre 64.
What the hell is this?
Oh, so we were out there at to backtrack to the Truman experience out there in Kansas and St. Louis. I mean, not St. Louis. That's the other side of the state. Kansas and
you tell the story. I want to flip the record, people. Like
we
my
actually
opponent flip-flops on the issues.
We actually went to this orchard out there that served these chicken livers that were almost like steaks, like chicken liver steaks. They were like long, like they'd smashed them out almost and then fried them up. They were super tender,
kind of like a liver tenderloin.
Like
almost.
A liver tenderloin, yeah.
Fritter, a liver fritter.
Let's
call them what they are.
Yeah, we'll call them litters.
I still have not eaten any chicken gizzards or offal meat. My father was really big into chicken gizzards. He loved chicken gizzards.
I'm not a big chewy guy. I'm a very texture-based eater. So when it comes to like chewy foods, I'm not big on calamari. I'm not big on cubed steak.
I hate cube steak. When I am elected in November, I'm outlawing cube steak, and I think that's something both our parties can get behind.
Unless, and here's the exception, you beat it out real good, you flour it, you fry it. That's a country fried steak.
That I can get behind. And you have to cook it fucking right.
You have to do it right.
That's the first F-bomb of the evening, people, because we needed it for this topic.
We need it for he's right. He's got dang right. Because what we need to talk about is the tenderness of a god dang good.
When growing up, my mom had like 2 tricks up her sleeve for cooking. And one was boiled cube steaks. You ever had a boiled cube steak?
I don't want to.
It's
un-American. Actually, it's probably the most American thing I've ever heard.
It's goddamn awful. Holy shit, was it awful.
It's like, that would be the equivalent of somebody getting beef tongue or lingua and just boiling it out.
Man, in my adult life, I'm talking like, let's go ahead and say from 16 to my age now, I have made cube steaks once. Because they were like 99 cents a pound. I was like, I'm going to give them a shot. And it harkened me back to my youth with their god-awful ass taste.
So did you just bake it?
I floured it and threw it on in a pan and just like flash fried it.
Okay.
But I now know you cannot flash fry a cube steak unless you really beat it out and get that gaminess. Like
you got to beat out because it's like not really marbled. It's just tendons and
yeah, and that's the shit that. But it used to be cube steak sandwiches, and you take a bite of that bread and like it.
What's the point? You know what I mean? And I grew up in a family that did the exact same thing, like cube steak, like it was.
That's right, Brandy Lacefield. No more cube steak. Team Harlos, vote for Harlos.
They try to make cube steak out to be like it's hamburger. It looks like hamburger.
No.
But it isn't hamburger. We all know that.
It's like the shittiest cut of steak, and they just run it through a machine.
But it all comes down to the cook. A good cook with the time and the drive.
That's true.
Will make it work.
That's true.
Denny's has a pretty good.
Damn, I really want cube steak. I really want a country fried steak right now.
It's so good, dude.
You know what else is really good? Country fried chicken.
Yeah, yeah. Or chicken fried chicken.
Oh my god. Somebody, bring us Denny's.
For real.
We need a guest anyways. We're getting bored.
Yeah, where's everybody at? Come on to the show. We'll call you. Call us.
Don't call us, we'll call you.
Call 1-900-89
Who?
You remember that Little Monsters? With that Howie Mandel?
That's actually on Netflix, I noticed the other night.
Really?
It is.
Oh, man.
That was a staple of my my household growing up.
Oh, you already got the beers numbers 3s.
Oh, crack. My bad. I'm just over here
enjoying life.
Yeah, damn right. I'm just, basking in the thought of, my upcoming, my forthcoming imminent presidency.
Yeah, when you're FDR's thrice removed distant cousin.
Skull and bones, people. Skull and bones.
If I had to pick the president I would hang out with, I think it would probably be Grover Cleveland.
He couldn't fit in a bathtub.
That was Taft.
Cleveland got shot.
Did Cleveland get shot?
I'm pretty sure Cleveland was one of the ones that got shot.
Cleveland's thing was he was president, then somebody else was president, and then he was president again.
Really?
Yeah, so he had a term between his presidency. Which is kind of, just one of them silly little,
Oh, Garfield. My bad. My bad, Cleveland fans.
Oh, Grover Cleveland is not from Cleveland, I don't think. I did a book report on him in the 3rd grade.
Really?
I put it on poster board.
08 Casablanca. What the hell is he talking about?
I don't know. I've never seen Casablanca.
Is that what he's drinking? Like a 2008 Casablanca?
I drink that.
A case of Blanca?
A case of Blanca. That's what this is like, drinking a case of Blanca. Am I right?
Prost to America. Why does the camera keep getting fuzzy? Is this one of your cheap Mexico import cameras?
This is actually from this Japan. Japan's American.
I'm cool with Japan.
Yeah, Japan's cool.
It's America.
No problem with
It's
Japan.
like South America.
Yeah, South America's got like pineapples and stuff.
Political reformer Grover Cleveland was. Only president to date who served 2 non-consecutive terms, as you mentioned. And also the only Democratic president to win election during the period of Republican domination in the White House. That stretched from Lincoln to Taft.
That's so odd because now it seems like it's like blue, red, blue, red.
Every 8 years it flip-flops.
But then it used to be like that. They're saying like there's like a 100-year dynasty almost of like not
True.
really. No, it wasn't that long because
It's so weird to think about old politics.
Old politics. Yeah.
One thing I always harken back to is in the 20s, our beloved territory of Indiana, which we're fighting for, was
all of it.
Was
the whole blue state
was ran by the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah.
Try cube steak with lemon and pepper seasoning. That sounds god awful, Charles Frohman. Please, no, let's not talk about that.
Maybe something about beating it out and then slow cooking it. If you slow cook, let's say you put it in you cook it at like 175 degrees
for like 4 days.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
People like you take like a big roast and you put it in a bucket of water that's like settled at 165 degrees.
It's just at the
for
temp
like
you want
8 days.
And it just basically just like it's like I'm attending, I'm okay.
I don't understand. Like I watched a show once of this guy doing this like super long slow cooking like just like that. You know, he cooked like a roast for like 8-9 days. It's like, check it out, it's the most moist, tender thing, and it's just falling apart. And it's like, how does that not go rancid at like day 4?
Because at 160 degrees, it's at 10.
But you're going from raw meat.
Because it hangs out at that temperature for that long, pretty much. Because I'm sure from 0 to 160 probably doesn't take that long. Because
we should do a segment where we do this.
I'm totally down. I've seen like these major I almost said fast food. These major, restaurants where they'll cook stuff for 3 or 4 days, and a lot of times they'll put them in bags.
Yeah, vacuum seal.
Yeah, and they'll do it like that, and then it just chills out.
Yeah.
In this like container doing its thing. I think it's beautiful. I think it's brilliant. Someone recently was telling me about this hog thing that people will smoke, and they put it in this area where they like smoke it like indefinitely, kind of thing. Like there's like these. They hang out in these areas for like months and months and months.
Oh, that's like prosciutto.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah, what's up with that?
Prosciutto is just like a big slab of a dead pig where they like wrap in salt and like hang in the dark for like a year.
Wow.
The salt on the outside draws out all the moisture, which technically that's what corned beef is. The term corned beef, like corned anything, is because it was slathered and hung out in salt and it wicked out the moisture and left just the meat.
Isn't that weird to think that moisture is the problem?
Because moisture and oxygen are your two worst enemies with food preservation.
Because they're the things that make life happen.
Pretty much.
Which is microbiology. If you kill life, it preserves death.
That's true.
Well, it preserves life in the essence of the life husk. It preserves the husk in the meat, but it doesn't. I mean, obviously, that pig's dead.
That pig's dead. I'm gonna eat it anyways. I never tried prosciutto, but it's always sliced super thin, served with cheese and crackers, and it always looks so good. Them Italians know what they're doing.
Oh yeah, that's what she said. Hey, speaking of which, have you ever seen the Italian Stallion, starring Sylvester Stallone?
Is that the dirty movie he was in apparently?
Okay, this is a XXX film supposedly. And so I revisited it recently because it was mentioned in that movie, or that TV show, or I say TV, but Netflix series Big Mouth. It's an animated series.
I tried watching that. The first episode, the kids talking about beating off in school, and I was like, not for me.
The whole show, once you get past that, it shows the just how being a teenager's awkward.
Well,
And
yeah.
they personify that with other beings and so on.
It was just off-putting in the very first
very
episode to
off-putting.
go there.
Yeah, they went there. It's kind of like a modern South Park, without the social commentary, I guess, as much. But I'm not quite certain what I was just discussing.
Italian Stallion.
Oh, the Italian Stallion is one of the things that gets brought up in this series.
Casablanca means White House. Well, you should have clarified you were speaking Spanish. I would have known that.
Yeah, he is speaking Spanish, which is the most American thing to do in the Southwest.
What is with you in Mexico?
I'll tell you, when we took the Alamo, we shouldn't have taken the culture.
Davy Crockett should not have been there. He was a goddamn American.
Why is he not up in the mountains? Don't he start in the mountains?
No!
With his
Davy Crockett helped take over the Kentucky territory and move southwest.
Kentucky with the hills on the eastern.
Where I hearken from.
You know about them hills.
Talk bad about Kentucky, I'm gonna punch you in the mouth.
I got nothing against Kentucky. Kentucky's Ernest P. Worrell.
I'm gonna pretend that your mouth is my cousin and I'm gonna hit you.
Ooh. Ernest P. Worrell was a Kentucky native.
I know.
And I love that man.
Jim Varney always reminded me of my papaw, who was a Kentucky native.
That's beautiful. And he died from,
Wasn't it cancer?
yeah, lung cancer. They say he smoked like 3 packs a day.
That's insane. My papaw smokes like 2 packs a day, and he's like 80.
Yeah, isn't that weird how that
That is
works?
weird. But I don't talk to any of them anymore.
Yeah, all they want to do is smoke cigarettes.
I want to smoke cigarettes, especially after 3 freaking beers. America, people. So,
Charles Frohman says, tell the story of Lincoln's burial site in Springfield.
that sounds boring.
Have you been to any burial sites of any famous people or anything?
No.
Never. I saw something where it was, oh man, who was it? Somebody was buried in England that was from the United States. Somebody showed me it today. It's not really that important. But I thought it was actually kind of neat because it showed how that transition between the voyage from England to the United States, there's a lot of shared history that isn't really talked about. It was William Penn. William Penn is actually buried in England, but he was the Pennsylvania is named after him. Correct?
Yeah, a lot of the English people that came over during the later 1700s to after the 13 original colonies were settled. They settled the original 13, and then they just said, all the rest of this land we're gonna deed to these rich-ass motherfuckers. And they would deed out this land to other people to come over and fucking farm it and shit. So they'd be like, hey, you, I'll give you 550 acres. Just go do stuff with it.
Yeah.
But it's still mine.
I mean, don't you really want somebody else to run the overhead sometimes?
Pretty much. I mean, that's what they were doing.
I mean, it's kind of bittersweet. That's kind of the one. That's what's great about this great country, and is the fact that we can decide at times who's running the overhead. Because sometimes you do want somebody else to be in charge of the financial or the other bullshit that you don't want to do. You just want to do. Sometimes I just want to be a farmer.
Sometimes I just want to sit and eat
do it.
sandwiches and fancy clothes and not
That's
do shit.
it. Yeah, right. Because I think about it. You live X amount of years on this planet. Let them do the dirty work. Let them do the paperwork.
You hear this, America? This is the guy that's going to be on your ballot in November. You want this in your White House?
I'm not running for the secretary. I'm running for the dude. The dude you want to drink these delicious horny goat blondes with.
No, this is not the dude, America, that you want.
Choose the man you want to drink a brew with.
Harlos Santana is your dude. Have you seen my axe chopping ad? You need to go see it. That's going to tell you everything you need to know.
You had a pretty good form in that, by the way. I'm going to tell you.
I had good breakfast.
Yeah? Yeah.
Yeah.
At Denny's?
No, here, home.
Oh, you made your own breakfast.
3 cups of coffee.
Yeah?
2 donuts.
Yeah.
And 4 cinnamon rolls.
God damn, it's a lot of carbs. But it sounds delicious. 4 cinnamon rolls.
Obviously, I ain't on keto. Yeah, if you're going to chop wood for a smear ad, always have a hearty breakfast on your side.
I concur. That's something else I
Because a hearty breakfast leads to a hearty lunch, which leads to a sparse dinner and beer.
And perhaps a second dinner.
Oh, I'm definitely having second dinner. Once this is all done, I'm going to just eat whatever I can find.
Oh, well, I actually am going to, I work at 4:30 in the morning.
That's terrible.
And then I'm leaving directly after work to go drop off my truck to get looked at. They're giving me a loaner vehicle. I'm heading to Columbus and meeting a friend, and we're going to watch Halloween.
What's wrong with your new vehicle? It's not an American vehicle. That's what the deal is.
It's a GMC.
Mostly Canadian.
Both my grandpas retired from the GMC.
Did they really?
Yes, sir.
Did you get a discount?
I could have, but it wasn't brand new. Yeah, I got a good deal on it. It was good.
Sucker.
I got that, what do they call it? The factory warranty extended.
Bumper to bumper?
Yes, sir.
Powertrain?
My man.
That's the American dream. You got a factory warranty. My warranty's over. I paid it off, so I was just, flying by the seat of my ass in that car now.
It's the only way to drive.
It's the only way I drive.
So you had some more questions set up for tonight. What we got?
Favorite Halloween candy? Go.
I like those black and orange peanut butter candies. They're like the taffy.
I like those, yes.
I hated those as a kid.
I always loved them.
I always thought they were... I would say I didn't really hate them.
What the hell are those called?
They're not really Mary Jane's.
I always felt like they were called like peanut butter kisses or something.
The peanut butter kisses, that's what they're called. Yeah, I don't know if Necco makes them or not. It'd be the only good thing Necco makes.
That's probably exactly who makes those.
It's like the only good thing.
It's like, come on, guys. People hate the wafers. We gotta come up with something.
Well, we make smaller wafers. No. We don't need more candy on paper.
Let's make wafers that have more spice.
You want allspice in them?
Ordinary spice. I'm talking cumin.
Oh, cumin candy would be great. Ooh. Taco candy.
That'd be terrible. Yeah, I love the peanut butter things.
Those are good. Those are the good, like, go-to, like, they're consistent.
I'll tell you what I miss about Halloween. When my nephews were in town, like when they lived here in Indiana, my nephews, we would go trick-or-treating I would go trick-or-treating with them every year, and my younger nephew was allergic to peanuts.
Ooh.
So the other one, by default, could not have peanuts because of his brother.
Just to even it out, yeah. Keep them out of the house.
Me and my brother, he's their dad. That's why they're my nephews.
Good point. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we would go to a house and they'd, rap-a-tap-tap, trick-or-treat, drop, walk back. What'd you get? Got a Reese cup. Oh, hand it over.
Go to
the next house. Rap-a-tap-tap, trick-or-treat. What'd you get? Snickers. Hand it over.
Oh,
so me and my brother, we'd be walking down. We'd be getting our bellies full on the good shit while they go home with Smarties and bullshit.
Oh, man. What about Almond Joy? Can they do the almonds?
No. Because isn't that technically a tree nut?
It's a tree nut, but that's different than like a peanut.
I know that, but semantics.
I don't know. I didn't know if like one nut was the same as the rest.
Oh, Brandy Lacefield, you are showing how lame you are, saying that everything Nico makes is gold.
Oh no! Now we're not talking about Nico that worked with the Velvet Underground.
We're talking about Nico wafers.
I like that Nico.
What all does Nico make? The candy company, the confectionery.
Oh, dude, I don't know. I just think that they just make anything and everything.
I bet they make a lot of stuff that you're like, what?
Probably. They're probably my favorite candy.
They probably make like dots and
That's
juicy
why I was thinking
fruits.
dots. I don't like dots. They hurt my teeth.
Nico Wafers Factory closed as of July 2018. Sky Bars, Mary Jane's, Clark Bars, Candy Buttons, Squirrel Nut Zippers, and Mighty Malts.
Those are dead.
I know.
They just died?
They're all dead, I guess.
Oh no, not Mary Jane's.
Necco
What other
Candy
molasses
Company
candy am I gonna
abruptly
eat?
closes.
Because people are afraid of molasses these days.
Really?
They don't trust it.
I'm more afraid of Bigfoot than I am molasses.
Yeah.
Dots are awful. Brandy Lacefield,
They hurt my teeth.
I love dots.
They're the ones you get at the movie theaters, right?
I love dots. I like to just
Jujubes, are they like those?
Jujubes are awful. Jujubes are like, you know how like a pencil sits in a coffee cup for like 10 years and the eraser gets really dry and it won't do shit?
Yeah.
That's like eating a juju fruit.
I just have never...
Or is that a jujube?
Jujubes, right?
That's jujubes.
What about licorice candy? Like, what's the one with like this? Like they're not Mike and Ike's, but they're
Good and Plenty.
Good and Plenty.
I hate those.
That's basically like the kind of candy you eat right before you get in a fight.
That's the kind of candy. It's like that's the candy equivalent of getting punched in the balls.
That's what I'm saying. You just eat that candy and then you're ready to get in a fight. Like you're
In fact, I want a box of dots right now. I love dots.
you like dots. Huh?
I love dots.
They hurt my teeth. They're always dry and they're always like 4 years
Well, that's
old.
what you gotta like gnaw on them a little bit.
Yeah,
you
they're gnaw candy.
You just do the gentle gnawing a little bit.
That's how you throw it in there.
You know
and
what?
it's
I'm not gonna sit here and tell you how to eat dots.
I think dots are those candy you throw in your mouth and 2 hours later you forgot it was there, but it's still hanging out.
It's like Mork and Mindy. Either you get it or you don't.
You damn right.
Child's play. Anyways, so the album's still playing, so we're gonna probably finish it out because.
What we got on tonight's snack list?
You remember them cracker coated almonds? I got 2 more bags of those. Those Nagaraya style. I have the hot peanuts in the cabinet, but I couldn't find them. Which I wish I found them, because those would go great with these beers.
It's a pretty deep cabinet. You're just losing snacks like that.
It is. We went grocery shopping for the first time in like a month yesterday.
These things are I endorse.
We got those from Big Lots.
Now the Big Lots in Greenwood hasn't opened up yet.
I know. I'm excited. But it's probably going to be the same shit as my Big Lots.
You think?
Probably.
It's kind of like Goodwill. I mean, you go to Goodwill, you get. I mean, Goodwill it doesn't have like corporate overhead.
Nah. Goodwill. The way you can tell where a vehicle has been assembled is in the VIN number. On the windshield in the front. Okay, thanks for that, Charles Froman.
That helped a lot.
I'm gonna eat some of these almonds because almonds are the best nuts ever.
I wonder, you know, it's funny he puts it that way though, because I remember getting a Red Stripe beer, and it's you hear Red Stripe, it's
I
supposed
hate
to be
Red Stripe.
Jamaican beer though, right? And it says bottled in Canada. Did they send their recipe to Canada, let them do the work, bottle it, and then send it back?
I think they just made beer with brown sugar in it and said, let's call it Jamaican. Because Red Stripe has that real grainy brown sugar taste.
It's one of those beers that really kind of drives me out. But it's funny how you put a name of where something comes from, but it really comes from a lot of places. It's just assembled in a certain spot.
Mexican beer was made mostly by Germans.
Really?
World War II, a lot of them Nazis fled to South America and Mexico, and they taught people how to make beer.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Before that, did they just always make liquor?
Probably the agave.
Have you ever seen those things?
Aren't they cactuses?
Yeah.
You ever eaten a prickly pear?
No.
It's a cactus fruit.
Pretty good?
I've had the juice. It's pretty decent. Well, we're just eating snacks now because after 3 of these beers, we're feeling pretty good.
I feel like it's we're like doing the Joe Bob Briggs thing. We're just hanging out.
We're just hanging out, listening to a record.
A couple of dudes listening to some tunes. Our guest didn't arrive.
Which, I wish I'd checked my email earlier and known that happened. But,
Who would you invite instead?
who did I invite instead? You. I invited Al Gore, but he was busy.
Al Gorbachev?
Yeah. So I think that's the end of the record.
That's a pretty good, smooth record.
Let's do something we haven't done in a long time. What'd you give that record on a scale of 1 to 5 brews?
I would definitely give that album a good 4.25 brews.
I'd give it a solid 4.
It
stands up.
It's smooth. It's got some hits. The best hits.
That was their breakthrough.
And it wasn't too in your face to where you couldn't just talk over it.
Right.
You know, some records are like, look at me, look at me, look at me. And they're like, hey, we're good enough. We'll keep playing. You just keep doing what you're doing.
It was good atmosphere music.
Exactly. And it's something that will impress the whole family, you know. It's something something for everything. Grandpa to the kids below, you know.
That's right. So, anyways, are you done with your third beer?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
They're so smooth. They're good.
It is good.
And I had a thirst when I showed up here.
That's fine. I've got some Cokes in the fridge. What the fuck is going on with my phone?
Coca-Cola Classic?
Yeah.
My favorite. We can agree on that.
So, anyways, you guys didn't even need a guess. This may have been your funniest show yet. Really? Really? Okay, I'll take it. So, everyone who did join us, thanks for joining us here on Dudes, Tunes, and Brews, episode 21.
It was a glorious night.
It was pretty good. It was nice to get back to our roots, to who we were. We did a little bit of research like we used to do.
This is actually what we do. I mean, at the end of the day, we two dudes that like to talk. We love learning.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We got back to our roots.
Exactly. Absolutely. And not only do we like learning, but we like the investigation of the information. You know?
Right.
The journey.
The question that happens upon us and we need to, look into.
Well, and we both admit when we are like, that's something I heard once. And it's been locked into my head for 27 years, you know?
I mean, sometimes you got to go to the map.
Well, I'm willing to admit that I was wrong based off of biased information, you know?
That's true.
I heard once that this guy wrote that song.
Right.
It don't mean that I'm saying to you it's the facts. Sometimes I think it might be possibly the facts.
Right.
And then sometimes it is, you know?
So, we're going to get our snack on, I think, for a minute. And we're going to hang out a little bit longer, but that's going to be just us. We've reached the almost hour and 20-minute mark.
Not
So
too shabby.
that's pretty good. Pardon me. Hopefully that doesn't mar my credentials as a candidate.
No, it won't. It'll make you more human. Like humans.
Humans.
I am a robot. I am a robot.
Anyways, we're going to probably cut it off here for the evening. Episode 21, 4 more beers, special election episode. Remember to vote for Harlos, not Josh.
Josh is the man with the plan.
Josh is the reason you have leaves in your yard every year.
So that I can go rake them up. Have a little bonfire, a couple brews.
Burning leaves is irresponsible.
Depends on how wet they are.
Anyways, this has been Dudes,
Tunes,
and Brews.